Greetings, Watford fans, and Happy New Year to you in this first Orns football focus of 2022. I hope that you are well and doing well, and that you have a better new year in 2022. It's time for the Orns football focus. This, of course, is for Watford versus Tottenham, which kicks off very shortly at the Vic, the first game of the 2022 portion of the season on New Year's Day, no less. Watford will have to come out with everything they've got against the Tottenham side that are going to be very difficult to deal with under Antonio Conte. Watford have an opportunity to redeem themselves after a very poor showing against a tough West Ham side that they gave all the power to with their poor defending. And Watford will have to learn from their defensive mistakes if they are to get anything at all out of this game against Spurs at the Vic. Now, 4 years ago, just under 4 years ago now, Watford beat Tottenham 2-1 at the Vic on a very famous Sunday afternoon victory in the Premier League. Watford, if they're going to produce any kind of result like that again in this game, are going to have to play with determination and resolve. But everything starts from defending at the back. Everything starts with the defensive base. And if Watford do not put a defensive performance together that shows identity and resolve and commitment and a lot of know-how and nous, they are going to be on the wrong end of a scoreline today, because Tottenham look very dangerous with the kinds of players that they have. Harry Kane is beginning to round into form after a very slow Premier League start to his season. And of course, don't forget the deal with Son and Lucas Moura as well, who also are capable of putting the ball in the back of the net without really too much trouble. Antonio Conte is going to give his side a really good forward movement of the ball being passed around quickly, and that is what Watford are going to have to face. And the important thing for Watford is that they are going to soak up a lot of pressure today. They're going to have to try not to be too deep in this game, because if they sit deep here against Tottenham, it's going to be one-way traffic all game long. I think for Watford, defensively is obviously the key, and everything else flows from that. If their defensive back line is strong and stern and disciplined, then they have a chance to at least get something out of this game. If their defensive line is nervous, wobbly, all over the place at 6s and 7s, we are going to come out of this game with another defeat. Watford, by the way, have lost 5 consecutive Premier League games now and 7 Premier League games in their last 8. And this is a sign of some real worry now at the Vic. And if Watford were to lose today, it would certainly not be the end of the world for them. It's Tottenham Hotspur after all, but it would be 8 defeats in their last 9 matches and 6 consecutive Premier League defeats. And that would certainly not give us a lot of reason to be optimistic. But of course, there's still lots of season to go. Today for Watford, you have to start with your basics, defending. Your front line is only as good really as your back line. And if your back line is not good enough, it's not going to flow through all 3 phases of the pitch. What Ranieri has to do is continue to keep the lads focused on balance in all thirds of the pitch. And the midfield is going to have to be much better today to deal with that Spurs side. I think the midfield and the defense are obviously going to be the 2 most important things for Watford. Moussa Sissoko will be facing off against his former club once again. He did that back in August when Tottenham beat Watford 1-0 in a pretty good Watford away performance. But today, Watford are going to have to be better than pretty good to beat Tottenham Hotspur. This has been the Orns football focus for Watford versus Tottenham. I'm Omar Moore.